Libra love, a major financial blessing is making its way toward you right now. But here's the truth: if you rush, you might block it. If you try to control it, you might miss it. What's unfolding for you isn't about chasing, it's about aligning. And that's exactly why you found your way here today. This is not a coincidence. Your energy brought you here. Your stillness called this message forward. In the same way a rose doesn't bloom under pressure, this season of abundance will not be forced, it will be received. You're on the verge of something truly life-changing, and yet, you're being asked to pause, soften, and let the universe do its work. Have you noticed lately how everything feels still? Almost too still? That's not stagnation. That's spiritual construction. Behind the scenes, a divine blessing is being laid brick by brick, and the only way to claim it is by not interfering with the process. Libra, you've been holding the balance for so long, keeping the peace, supporting others, managing the emotional weight of relationships, work, and responsibility, all while hiding your own exhaustion behind a graceful smile. But now, the universe is turning its attention to you. Now, you are the one being held. A sacred financial shift is aligning just beyond your current view, and it is not a reward for working harder, it's a return on spiritual investment. Your loyalty, your grace under pressure, your refusal to compromise your values. All of it has been seen, measured, and accounted for. But here's the catch: this blessing only knows how to arrive in peace. And if you're still in survival mode, rushing, doubting, clenching, you might vibrate right past it. That's why this message comes with an invitation, not a command. You're not being told to wait. You're being given permission to stop striving and start allowing. So here's what I want to ask you. Have you recently felt the urge to slow down even when your mind says speed up? Have you sensed something bigger preparing to enter, but you can't quite name it yet? If so, you're in the right place. You're aligned with something sacred. And I invite you to anchor that alignment now by leaving a comment below that simply says, "I am ready to receive, and I trust divine timing." That's it. That declaration alone shifts the energy. It grounds the intention. It says to the universe, I'm not chasing. I'm choosing to receive. Before we move forward, let me take a moment to thank you, truly, for being here. Your presence, your energy, your likes, your comments, and your subscription to Zodiac Whisper Tarot, it all matters deeply. It's your engagement that keeps this sacred space alive and allows us to keep delivering these messages of transformation to the ones who need them most. So Libra, stay with me until the end of today's message. Because what the universe is about to reveal isn't just about money. It's about alignment, self-worth, healing, and the art of receiving without guilt. It's about peace that lasts longer than the paycheck and confidence that can't be shaken by circumstances. Your breakthrough is not coming through force. It's coming through flow. Let's begin. Some stories aren't written in grand gestures or loud victories. Some are written in quiet moments like yours, Libra. You are the peacemaker in a world addicted to noise. You are the soul who so often says yes when your heart is aching, the one who smooths every ripple to protect others from the storm even as it rages inside you. Grace is your language, harmony your default, but beneath that gentleness lies the strength of someone who has held up more than they've ever shown. And now, the universe has noticed. As someone who walks closely with the energy of Venus, the ruler of your sign, it's no surprise that your life often revolves around beauty, justice, and connection. But here's what many don't see: the sacrifices you've made to preserve those values. While others may pursue what's easier or more self-serving, you've often chosen the high road, even when it cost you time, energy, or recognition. And you didn't do it for applause. You did it because that's who you are. The astrology of this moment confirms what your spirit has known all along. Venus, your ruling planet, is now lighting up your second house, the house of value, finances, and self-worth. This isn't just about money. This is about value being restored where it was once overlooked, about energetic debts finally being repaid in a way you can feel and hold. It's about doors opening not because you forced them to, but because you built your foundation in integrity. And now it's strong enough to support what's coming next. There's something sacred about the way you've endured. Not loud. Not demanding. Just consistent. Even in seasons when your efforts were invisible to others, they were not invisible to the greater force that governs divine timing. Your kindness hasn't gone uncounted. Your loyalty hasn't gone unmeasured. And while you may not have always received what you gave, the balance is shifting. Not as revenge, but as restoration. Sometimes, what feels like delay is actually divine alignment. Sometimes, the miracle doesn't come when you ask for it, it comes when you become the version of yourself who's ready to hold it. You see, the universe is not transactional. It's transformational. It doesn't just match your words, it matches your energy. And your energy, Libra, has been rippling out grace and generosity for far longer than most realize. The moment has come for that energy to return home to you. I know what it's like to give, to keep the peace, to be the anchor for everyone else. And I also know how lonely it can feel when no one notices the weight you carry. But what if I told you you were never carrying it alone? What if every unseen act of goodness was a seed planted in heavenly soil? I've witnessed stories, real, breathtaking stories where people reached the end of their strength only to be met with divine provision. Not because they demanded it, but because they had become the kind of people who could steward it with wisdom and grace. That is the space you are entering now. So let me ask you, have you given from the heart without expecting anything back? Have you ever held your tongue to protect peace, even when it hurt? If so, I invite you to comment below and affirm your readiness to receive. Right, I gave with my heart, and now I open my hands to receive. Let this be more than words. Let it be a signal to your higher self that your time has come. Libra, you've done the inner work. You've shown up when no one saw. And now, what's owed to your soul is beginning to manifest in your life. Stay with me because the deeper we go, the more clearly you'll see, this isn't about earning. It's about aligning. And you, dear Libra, are already in position. It's easy to mistake stillness for stagnation, especially when you've grown used to fighting for every breakthrough. But right now, Libra, the quiet you're experiencing is not a void, it's sacred preparation. What feels like a pause is actually divine precision. Energetically, this is not a delay. It's the fine-tuning of something meant to last. You're not being withheld from your blessing. Your blessing is being shaped to meet you exactly where you're meant to be. And that requires stillness, not speed. Many Libra souls right now are feeling an undercurrent of restlessness, an itch to take action, to make something happen. But have you noticed? No matter how much you plan, push, or press forward, the momentum isn't quite there. That's because what's coming is not something you can chase. It's something you must align with. You're being asked to shift your posture from effort to openness, from striving to surrender. This is not giving up, it's leveling up. Astrologically, this is a moment of energetic restructuring. Picture a seed deep in the soil. Above ground, nothing seems to change. The surface is still. But underground, the roots are splitting rock, reaching for water, cracking open in silence. That's where you are. Not stuck germinating. And just like a seed must remain buried before it blooms, your breakthrough needs time and space to form without interference. This is the energetic wisdom of the Hanged Man in Tarot. Not a symbol of punishment or delay, but of sacred perspective. It's the moment we suspend our usual response to allow a greater truth to come through. When you resist the urge to react too quickly, to say yes too soon, to leap before it's time, you grant the universe the space it needs to complete its work. And in doing so, you become a match for the opportunity you're meant to hold. This is also the deeper layer of the law of attraction that is often misunderstood. Manifestation isn't just about asking and waiting. It's about attuning. It's about noticing when your urgency is actually fear in disguise and transforming that fear into trust. Sometimes we act quickly not because we're ready, but because we're afraid the opportunity won't come again. But if it's meant for you, Libra, it's yours. Timing is part of the delivery. And just like a master musician enters on the right note, you are being tuned to enter your season of abundance in harmony, not haste. In these moments of stillness, I encourage you to watch for subtle signs. A message that appears when you least expect it. A moment of clarity that comes while you're doing something mundane. A door that quietly unlocks when you finally stop knocking. I've witnessed people step into their breakthrough not through effort, but through clarity. Not through hustle, but through timing. And while we don't need to invoke divine figures to recognize sacred timing, there is wisdom in the way faith teaches us to wait. In so many stories of miraculous provision, the turning point arrives when the person stops striving and starts trusting. When they stop demanding and start preparing. You don't have to earn what's coming, you simply have to hold space for it. So let me ask you, are you feeling tempted to act quickly, to fix something, to make a move simply because silence feels unfamiliar? Have you been comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel, feeling like you're being left behind? Take a breath. Pause. This isn't your delay. It's your design. If this resonates with where you are right now, I invite you to comment below with the words, "I choose to trust divine timing." Let it be more than a statement, let it be a new frequency in your field. You're not behind. You're being aligned. Sometimes, the most powerful movement is no movement at all. When everything inside you is conditioned to chase, to push, to prove you're ready, choosing stillness becomes a radical act of trust. Libra, you've entered a space where the universe is not testing your effort but tuning into your frequency. In this phase, the question is not, are you working hard enough? The real question is, are you aligned deeply enough to receive what's already on its way? The energy around you is sensitive right now, highly responsive to your internal state. You're not just being prepared to receive a financial blessing, you're being invited to become the container for it. That means your thoughts, your energy field, even your environment, must reflect the stability and peace you wish to attract. When your nervous system is calm, your aura expands. And when your aura expands, it pulls in the very resources your soul has been requesting, not because you're chasing it, but because you're finally resonating with it. This is where divine timing becomes more than a spiritual concept, it becomes an energetic law. The most successful people are rarely those who run the fastest. They are those who move in rhythm with their intuition, with the seasons, with the signals life is quietly offering. Timing is not something you wait for, it's something you become aligned with. And when you do, things arrive effortlessly. Not because you didn't deserve them before, but because now you're truly ready to hold them. All around you, the signs are beginning to form, subtle but undeniable. Maybe you've been noticing repeated numbers: 888, 222, 444. These aren't coincidences. In numerology, 888 represents financial abundance, the closing of one cycle and the opening of another, balanced, infinite, and deeply karmic. 222 speaks to partnership, alignment, and harmony. 444 is a divine affirmation that your foundation is being secured. When these show up, they aren't just pretty patterns, theory, evidence that unseen forces are responding to your inner vibration. And it's not just numbers. You might feel a sudden urge to declutter your space, to move furniture, to light a candle, to bring fresh flowers into your home. These are intuitive nudges, your energetic field instinctively preparing your physical environment to hold more wealth, more ease, more grace. When energy is shifting, the body and the space around you often know it before the conscious mind does. Trust these impulses. Act on them. They are not random, theory, part of the unfolding. What's important to remember now is that rushing will not speed up the process. In fact, it may push the very thing you desire further away. You can't force a seed to grow by shouting at it. And you can't force money to stay if your energy still believes it must be earned through struggle. This is not about urgency. This is about coherence. You must become a vibrational match for what you want, not just think about it or speak affirmations into the mirror. It has to live in your breath, your posture, your decisions, your silence. In seasons like this, I often recall the stories of people who received life-changing blessings only when they finally released control. Not because they stopped caring, but because they started trusting that the work they'd already done was enough. When they finally stopped grasping and started breathing, miracles unfolded in the quiet. This isn't about giving up your power, it's about stepping into a higher version of it. So let me ask you, Libra, have you been seeing repeating numbers? Has someone mentioned an opportunity you didn't expect? Are you feeling called to reorganize your space, to prepare for something you can't yet name? If so, take a moment to document it right here. Write down what you've seen, what you've felt, and declare, I am ready. I trust the timing of my life. This is how you anchor the energy. This is how you let the blessing land. Sometimes, what unlocks abundance isn't about strategy or sacrifice, it's about softness. It's about allowing yourself to experience wealth not as something you earn, but as something you are aligned with. Libra, you have spent so long striving to do it right, to be helpful, to serve, to prove you're worthy. But this next chapter isn't asking you to prove anything. It's inviting you to receive. The truth is, wealth doesn't always come to those who hustle the hardest. It often flows toward those who can embody its essence, calm, grounded, receptive. And you, dear Libra, are being called to become the curator of that frequency. Wealth is not always a paycheck or a number in a bank account. Sometimes, it begins with a decision to treat your body like sacred ground. To slow down enough to taste your tea instead of gulping it between tasks. To wear the clothes that make you feel beautiful even if no one sees you in them. To light a candle not because it's a holiday, but because your nervous system is asking for beauty. These aren't luxuries, they are energetic declarations. They signal to the universe that you are creating space, not just for things, but for meaning, for elegance, for restoration. And this is exactly what magnetizes wealth to you. Not wealth that burns fast and disappears, but wealth that lingers and nourishes. You've been through seasons of tension, off working when tired, smiling when hurting, staying when you long to go. And now your body, your spirit, your energetic field is asking for restoration. Not as a reward, but as a requirement. Because abundance cannot flow into a clenched vessel. And Libra, you deserve more than survival mode. You deserve to experience stillness as your strength, not your weakness. You deserve to build your life from joy, not just from effort. In astrology, your ruling planet Venus teaches us that beauty is a healing force. That sensuality and simplicity are not distractions, they are medicine. And when you embrace Venusian rituals, eating slowly, dressing thoughtfully, curating your surroundings with intentionality, not being frivolous, you're restoring your nervous system, rebalancing your frequency, and stepping into your natural power. You are reminding life that you are not just here to serve others. You are here to enjoy the table that has been prepared for you. There's a quiet wisdom that says, you don't have to beg for what's already been promised. You simply have to sit at the table that's been set for you. The story of your next breakthrough won't be written in effort. It will be written in ease. And while you may not need a spiritual verse to guide you through this, think of those moments in life when you stopped striving and, somehow, what you most needed arrived. That unexpected check. That phone call. That moment of clarity. Those weren't coincidences. They were moments you finally let go and allowed goodness to find you. So here's what I invite you to do now, Libra, make your life beautiful again. Light a candle at dinner. Decorate your space in a way that makes your heart sigh with relief. Cook something nourishing, even if it's just for yourself. Wear your favorite color, not because it's an occasion, but because you are the occasion. These are not small acts. They are rituals of reception. And if your heart feels moved, I invite you to comment below and describe, how would you set the table if the universe were sending your greatest blessing tonight? Let that vision be more than imagination, let it be preparation. Because what's coming is not only yours. It's already on the way. Not everything returns the way it left. Sometimes, what you gave freely, your time, your love, your devotion, comes back reshaped, richer, deeper, and more aligned with who you've become. Libra, this is one of those sacred moments. What once felt lost is now returning to you, not as a replica of the past, but as a reward reborn. The energy you once poured into people, jobs, or situations that didn't fully honor you has not been wasted. It's been rerouted. And now, it's coming home through new opportunities, elevated relationships, and resources that reflect your true worth. If you ever supported someone behind the scenes, carried more than your share at work without credit, or offered love to someone who couldn't fully receive it. Know this: none of that was in vain. That extra hour you stayed. That favor you didn't count. That grace you gave. It was all seen by the laws that govern energetic exchange. You may have thought you were overlooked, but in truth, your generosity was being tallied in a way the world doesn't always understand. And now, you're about to be paid in the language of your soul. This is the higher octave of the law of attraction. The universe doesn't merely react to what you feel in a fleeting moment, it responds to the resonance you've consistently held, even when no one was watching. It's not about visualizing harder or staying positive all the time. It's about embodying your value, holding the line, and knowing deep down, what's meant for you is not earned by effort alone, but by alignment. That's where you are now. You're not manifesting from desire, you're receiving from identity. There's no need to prove yourself anymore. You don't have to chase or convince anyone of your worth. In this new frequency, your job is simply to be present, open, and steady. When the blessings arrive, and they will feel fit like a key into a lock that's been waiting for this exact shape. And it won't feel dramatic or explosive. It will feel quiet and right. Because the vibration you've held all this time has finally found its mirror. Some of the most beautiful shifts I've witnessed in others have come when they stopped trying to earn it and started living as though it was already theirs. One woman I worked with spent years giving her energy to a workplace that never valued her. She was drained, discouraged, and ready to give up. But when she finally walked away and focused on her peace, she didn't collapse, she expanded. Within months, she launched a side business that began to flourish. Not because she chased it, but because she created the space to let it in. This is the kind of shift that is happening for you now, Libra. Take a breath. Take your hands off the wheel. Let the harvest come in without gripping it too tightly. You are not just receiving money, you're receiving validation, security, and a life that reflects the grace you've always carried. And if you feel a little nervous, that's okay. Sometimes we're afraid to receive because we've never been taught how to rest in abundance without guilt. But you're learning now. You're being refined by softness, not pressure. If your heart resonates with this, take a moment to declare it. You can simply write in the comments, "I choose softness to receive fully." That sentence is more than a phrase, it's a vibration shift. It tells your body, your energy field, your spiritual team, and your future, I am no longer striving. I am now receiving. And if it feels right in this quiet space, place your hand gently over your heart and say softly, I'm ready for the harvest. Grant me wisdom to hold this blessing and make my life a sanctuary of peace. Because that's what this is all about, not just wealth for the sake of having it, but wealth that restores, protects, and finally feels like home. What if the miracle isn't meant to be figured out, just received? What if your only task now, Libra, is to stop overthinking how it's all going to unfold, and instead hold the door open with stillness, softness, and quiet expectancy? You've already done the heavy lifting. You've already proven your resilience. This chapter isn't about proving anything anymore. It's about allowing something deeply aligned to enter. Not because you chased it, but because you made space for it. You're not here to please everyone anymore. You're here to embody peace, to own your worth, and to walk through the world knowing that what's meant for you is already on its way. When you truly believe that, your energy shifts. your choices change. You stop settling. You stop forcing. And you start aligning with a frequency that doesn't just attract blessings, it sustains them. And now I want to ask you something gently, but sincerely. If all the abundance you've ever hoped for arrived tomorrow, how would you use it? Would you finally give yourself permission to rest? Would you beautify your home? Would you offer something generous to someone who's struggling? Take a moment to reflect. Because wealth, when it arrives in its true form, becomes a tool for healing not just for you, but for those you're destined to impact. So, I encourage you to answer this in the comments. How will you use this blessing, not only for your life but for the good of others? As we come to the close of this message, I want you to hear this from a deeper place. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not late. You are right on time for the miracle that's been waiting for your readiness. The truth is, it was never about rushing to make things happen. It's always been about learning to receive in a way that honors your soul. So please, Libra, release the timeline. Release the pressure. And release the need to explain your journey to anyone who hasn't walked it. There is divine timing at work here. There is provision in motion. And there is a blessing that will meet you where your spirit has quietly been asking for more. From the very core of my heart, I pray that you receive what is meant for you in the most sacred, perfect moment, not a second too soon, and never again from a place of desperation. May your next yes be peaceful, and your next door be wide open. May you no longer feel rushed. May you finally feel ready. If this message touched something in you, if you felt seen, soothed, or reminded of your power, then don't keep it to yourself. Tap that like button as a way to lock in this frequency. Share a positive affirmation in the comments to anchor your intention. And make sure you're subscribed to Zodiac Whisper Tarot, where your energy is honored, your timing is respected, and your journey is always guided with care. Now breathe. Smile. And gently remind yourself, I don't have to run anymore. I'm allowed to receive. My blessing knows where to find me.